Good to go.
For my final major project presentation, I'll be presenting to you my final idea for my final major project. My initial ideas is the very first ideas I came across when doing this project. They're all very visual effects and creative based. For example, the man made out of smoke, I'll be filming him and motion tracking in After Effects where he disintegrates, and the transition will be from him transitioning from one place to another, disintegrating as smoke. The only problem with these initial ideas is that I was not able to follow them through because they was too visual effects based, and when I researched them deeper and looked into YouTube tutorials, I was unable to do them because of having to get plugins, and they're very complicated, so I weren't able to follow any of these through. My project concept is based around a teenage girl who has bipolar. She goes from one emotional state to another, and because she's in school, she is very stressed and anxious, and she develops bipolar, so her emotions change. As the project goes on, the transition between her emotions becomes a lot faster and a lot quicker as she transitions. So it will be showing, she'll be making diary entries of these to go onto the internet for the world to see, because she wants to help people and inspire people by what she's going through, and she thinks that if she can get through this, so can other people, and she wants to show other people how she develops. Linking my project to the theme, my theme is all about emotional transitions, changing from one state to another. This can be very extreme and very subtle at times. At the beginning of the project, she may be in one emotional state for about a week or even longer. As the project goes on, there'll be a lot of jump cuts and flashbacks, transitioning very quickly in how later on in life she gets and how bad it gets. How has my research helped me? My research has helped me because it is aimed towards 15 to 19-year-olds. Learning this has helped me because I'm in the 15 to 19-year-old age group. It means I'm on the same wavelength as pupils who are watching this, and because they are also students in this age group, it means that I can emotionally connect with them, and it means that they'll be able to understand the project on this level, and because it affects them the most, it should help and inspire them. How will I do this? I've looked at a lot of TV programmes and films such as Prison Break and Good Luck Charlie. I've looked at how they create their diary entries and what they say and how it connects with the targeted audience. And for example, the soloisation in Prison Break symbolises it changing from one place and a time to another. So you can see with the match cut that he is changing from one state to another even though he's still in the centre of the frame, and it really portrays a deep storyline because you know the transitioning through time, and you'll be able to see her emotion changes throughout the whole time she's had this disorder. How is this shown in my script? The first half of my script relies on audio, so I didn't want to have too much of a basic video for this product, so I wanted to base it on audio where it's going to be completely black and she walks up to the camera, turns it on, and it'll wobble a few times just to get into focus, because I want the audience to really feel how she's feeling. So the wobbling of the camera and her turning it on really connects with the audience, because as she turns the camera on, they automatically listen and look at her for what she has to say because of how deep her emotion is. So she's going to be talking about her final videotape that she makes at the very end of the project before it goes into the first beginning stages of her disorder, so that the audience have an insight of what's going to happen in the story. Why have I chosen this idea? I feel like it's creative and different. I didn't want to do anything that had happened before, and it's still visual effects based, so I can still do the video diary entries and act the battery and things like that, but it's not as complex, so I feel like I'll be able to make this more professional and on my wavelength, still challenging my ability, but more professional based, so that it's not pushing me a bit too far, as my initial ideas were. Why will my project work and who is it aimed towards? It's aimed towards 15 to 19-year-olds, as I said later on, because this is the age group that I'm able to connect with the most, as this is the most likely age group that is going to get the disorder. I think my project will work because of the amount of planning and research I've put into it, into knowing the disorder and knowing what they go through and how they feel, people who have had this disorder, and putting this into the actors and the characters in my film will really connect with people who have these sort of disorders, depression or bipolar or anything like that. It will really connect with them because they will listen, because it's this sort of age group that it affects the most. Who's going to be in my production? I'll be having a lot of extras because I want the scene to be as natural and realistic as possible. I think that as many actors and extras that are in the background, it'll make it more natural and realistic, so that the audience won't just be looking at a primary example of a product. They will be really connecting with it, and they'll be able to see everyone in the background and the schooling environment. Main characters will be Chloe Wallace and Brianna Bass, who will be the friend and the bully who will be in the product. Chloe will be the main character who has bipolar, and it will be mainly focusing on her for when she talks directly to the audience, or when we have point of view shots to show her unsteadiness and unstable environment. And the extras will also connect with her because they will also be talking and part of the environment. Thank you for listening.
Great. Okay, so how much research have you done to ensure that you're going to be going in the right direction to explain what bipolar is?
I've researched what bipolar is and how they get through it and how long it usually lasts, the age group. I've researched like what they do to get over it as well, like whether it's counselling, one-on-one sessions or medication and different things like that. I've researched all that goes into it and how it affects them. I've also researched like other products that have shown these type of things like depression and bipolar, and how they convey their emotions and how they convey their lifestyle.
And how long is your project going to be, did you say?
Roughly 6 to 7 minutes, maybe a bit shorter.
Okay. That's good.
Thank you.